What's up, everybody? Thralls here once again. I'm Necrotic Nick.
I'm Jammin John.
And we have an album review for you. A really anticipated album, especially by this guy. Believe me, when he came over today, he was just all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Like, dude, we're going to go over this album. I'm so excited. And now look at him. He has the fucking icy, cold, distraught stare of someone that just caught his parents fucking.
Kids, look. If you don't live at home anymore, and you go to your parents' house, and you see their car there, and you yell for them when you come in the house and no one answers, don't go upstairs.
Anyway, with a lead-in like that, I feel like this needs a little bit of explanation, or at least I need to tell you what we went over. And that is the new Primitive Man with their new album, Observance. This also comes out on Halloween. I can't imagine any other day that it could come out. Like, this is the day for this creepy-ass album.
Yes, and in fact, nighttime, too.
Yeah.
Wait to listen to this till nighttime with the lights off.
Maybe a single candle. That's it, though. Anyway, this comes out on Relapse Records. This band formed in 2001 in Denver, Colorado. This is their fourth album overall. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot of albums considering this band formed in 2001, but they also have 8 splits. I think there's like 4 EPs in there. I got into this band with their album Immersion. We reviewed it on a whim. I heard that it was suffocatingly heavy, and whoever told me that certainly wasn't a liar. Monstrous, dark, haunting album. I actually ended up getting more of their stuff. We saw them live with Blood Incantation. I don't remember much of their set because I fell into a hypnotic trance.
I mean, that's pretty spot on. Yeah, I mean, I was really excited to see him. I got into him the same time he did with Immersion. I jammed the fuck out of that record. Like, still to this day, like if somebody says to me, what's the most haunting, evil thing you have? And I throw on Immersion, because usually that'll just scare the shit out of people right away. But yeah, we saw him live, and it's crazy. I only remember, like, bits and pieces of that show. There are times where I remember, because even the lights for that show, it just had a spotlight below Ethan, and that was it. I don't remember there being strobes. I think there was fog. But, like, I only remember bits and pieces of that show.
I remember, like, kind of violently snapping awake during their set. Like, oh my god, what the fuck happened? Did I poop?
Right? Do I still have my wallet, pants? All right, we're good.
I'm pretty sure I did check for my wallet. We also got to catch them at MDF, too. Yeah, this band is something else. A combination of sludge, doom, I suppose deathdoom, noise, just horrendous noise. We went over their collaboration with Full of Hell too, which I really wasn't a big fan of, though. I mean, it did what this band does well, just creepy noise. Oh my god, this album is so fucking heavy. This album weighs more than my house. And by extension, their whole discography probably weighs more than the block I live on. This is just a dense, impenetrable, dark sound. This is a combination of being both waterboarded by music and beaten by it. Like, you know, this thing is like swinging fucking phone books at your fucking rib cage.
Yep. And then after it knocks you over, it stands on your throat while grinding you into the pavement while smothering you with a pillow.
And those are the melodic parts.
Melodic. I mean, there are some melodic moments in here. Pretty much in every song, they're just shrouded by 1,000 layers of noise.
Yeah, I mean, Primitive Man, baseline, you could say their sound is very minimalist. It's minimalist in terms of, like, the amount of notes they play, or, you know, like, the amount of movements in a song, too, I suppose you could say. But that depends on the song, because you have songs that are, you know, almost 14 minutes long on here. But it's not about, like, lavish riff structure, you know, complex, really anything, except for maybe, like, some rhythms. Rhythms do get a little fancy every now and then. But the main thing is atmosphere, density, and just making this sonically, like, almost unapproachable. Like when someone says they stared into the void and didn't blink, this band not only stared into the void, did not blink, they built a house in the void. Moved in the entire band and put an unwelcome mat outside to let you know, like, listen, you aren't welcome here. Anything positive is not welcome here. In fact, fuck you, go into the void.
Instead of the door saying no solicitors, it just says no.
Like, I honestly feel like this album might have been recorded in darkness. Like, it has that vibe. It is absolutely suffocating with its plotting riffs. I mean, in terms of riffs on here, a lot of it are single chords, like a lot of just tritonal, just heft. The guitar tone, oh god, it sounds like it's being boiled in fucking motor oil, like fucking thick ass shit, like 40 weight.
But at the same time, it's also less muddy. I don't know if it's the Arthur Risk production or what, which is normally actually kind of muddy. But I thought this had just a little bit more like clarity to it than Immersion did. Definitely more than Caustic did.
Yeah, no, Caustic was, well, I mean, as advertised.
Yeah.
But this one was only mastered by Arthur Risk. It was actually mixed by Andy Nelson of Weekend Nachos, which he's pretty good in terms of like getting that gritty sound, but separating out everything. Like this is production-wise probably their most listenable album, just in terms of like it's still waves and waves and waves of dissonance. Like seriously, like this album moves across your fucking eardrums like, I don't know, a belt sander moves across your fucking skin. But it's separated enough. There are points where things drop out enough into, well, no pleasantries whatsoever. There's not a moment of like quiet reflection on here at all.
Nope.
When it drops into like the more atmospheric sections where you get to hear like maybe just the hum of the bass or whatever is humming in the background, like there's like a almost like permanent electric sizzle feedback, bugs crawling on microphones kind of fucking sound going on. But when it is at its like heaviest, it's still pretty like listenable overall. Like it doesn't hit a noise threshold where you're just like, no, I just fucking can't. Or at least it is with me.
To me, it wasn't so overwhelming that it made it unlistenable. Like, it's very listenable. There's just so much droning going on. It's incredibly hypnotic. Like, when you're driving on the highway at night and you get the road hypnosis, like you keep staring at the lines, you just kind of zone out, and then 10 minutes later you snap out of it and you're sitting in the parking lot at Walmart going, hold on, how did I get here? It's that kind of trance-inducing. There were several times during this record where I just zoned out and I'm not entirely sure what happened.
Yeah, no, I was kind of there with you. Like, there were just moments that actually, like, me kind of trying to reflect back to the live show, but then again realizing, like, I don't remember much of it because I was doing the same thing I'm doing right now. Oh my god. But again, there are moments where, like, some conventional music kind of creeps in, like, namely like post-metal, like transactional. Transactional has, like, these, more lush sections on it where you get, like, a cleaner kind of humming bass, and there's a little bit more space in between, like, the big heavy sections and the builds and such.
And there are some different grooves going on in there, too. Now, one of the things that I noticed, even though a majority of that song is super slow, almost like Funeral Doom territory, even though it's so slow, I noticed multiple time signature changes. Not tempo changes, but time signature changes. There were a couple times, actually, where I got lost in the groove. There's 1 minute in particular after it comes out of the first, like, really slow Funeral Doom passage where the groove speeds up, but then there's, like, a hitch in the middle of the groove, kind of, where both Nick and I kind of looked at each other like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on here? Like, and it does that several times throughout the song where it'll do this weird time signature change and you don't immediately catch it and you kind of get lost in all of what's happening.
Actually, that, like, rhythmic change was enough to kind of break me out of the hypnosis, believe it or not. But some of it, again, like, it just draws you in, and it comes down to, like, what you end up focusing on, because this comes in just layers and layers of not pretty sounds. Social Contract. That song starts off with, it's a combination of, like, drums, and I think there's, like, hand clapping in it.
I don't know. To me, it sounds like a tiny man march.
Yeah, except they're, all, like, fanged tiny men, and they're here to, like, rip your soul out of your body.
Blood and pus.
But there's this kind of rhythmic, like, pop, 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 that keeps going throughout the entire start of the song. Like, and this is another one that I think, God, that's one clocks like over 13 minutes. But underneath it, as things start to build, you can hear what sounds like muffled chatter. Like, it could have been, just them fucking around in a CB and, like, just a breaker, whatever. Or dialogue from a snuff film, which probably would have been really fitting too. But for me, it became kind of this weird thing of, like, focusing on what they were saying, that background chatter, and the drums kind of playing, not matching the time, but at the same time, it kind of created that hypnotic effect. There are so many moments on here where, I don't know, it just pulls you in. Like, even if you try to, like, resist trying to focus on all the darkness and all the creepiness on here, it's it's alluring somehow. Even Iron Sights, which is the shortest track and just kind of like a little noise track, like there's enough there in terms of like stuff you want to pay attention to in terms of what's going on in layers. Like honestly, it sounded like how, I don't know, I think every rave in fucking Silent Hill probably starts. Either that or like a copy machine in hell was on the fritz. But I mean, again, they just know how to like layer these sounds to make them sound like dark and haunting and again like alluring. And then you have these cavernous fucking vocals. Like Ethan roars his guts out on here.
Man.
That it sounds like a fucking grizzly bear fucking like roaring inside of an abandoned hospital. They probably have that problem in Colorado. That's why I went with that.
Could be. I don't know. I've never been to the hospital in Colorado.
Well, they got bears. But a lot of this listen, you know, for me is about feeling. Like if you were to ask me, honestly, with any of their albums, like, oh, hey, what's your favorite Primitive Man track? It was like, oh, it's the one that makes me feel terrified and you know, unsettled and nervous. Did I just pee a little bit? Yeah, it's that track.
It's the stank-faced one. The one where, where everything happens to me. What are you talking about? Oh, you'll find out. Listen to it.
Yeah, no, it's the one where Ethan screams unintelligibly but loudly, like right in my face. Well, it sounds like someone is taking, like, you know, a belt sander to a fucking guitar.
Yep.
So, yeah, hard to pick out individual tracks, at least for me. But it's about the vibe of the album, like how it feels like continuously. And this album is, again, suffocatingly dark, but there's a little bit more nuance to it than I think, at least on previous albums, to the point where these feel more musical. Like these songs feel like there's like a little bit more in the way of construction to them. Like it isn't all about the atmosphere and the ambience, though. I mean, it does help. Like honestly, this whole album kind of felt like a long drawn-out fight with my sleep paralysis demon, which I think is featured on the album cover, because that dude looks familiar, which I'm glad he found other work. Hopefully he just stays with these guys for a little bit longer. No, but like every moment on here, like I feel like they even like folded sound. Like it's weird because like the more I was listening to it, the more like, I don't know, I could visualize the music.
And that's disturbing too, because when I say that it's hypnotic and trance-inducing, it means that I didn't think real happy thoughts during this album. Like, in fact, in the first few minutes of this record will actually take from you, suck out of your soul, all your happy feelings and just throw them away. And then refill you with this. And I gotta be honest, when you think about the music and what's happening, I don't think I thought about anything pleasant. It was mostly being in the dark, being yelled at, being, like, screamed at, being chased by things. Like, that's what I thought about.
Yeah, no, this album is like Portal at, like, a quarter speed.
Yeah.
It's the sonic equivalent of that, you know, video you're not supposed to watch in the ring. You know, it's also kind of, like, rife with that kind of confusion. Like, I don't know what any of this means. Why is that chair spinning? Whatever. And it's also a lot of, hey, what the hell made that creepy noise? That didn't even sound like a guitar or a synth or a person. Like, there are points in here where I really didn't know what was making that noise. Like, on Social Contract in particular, like, there's some noises underneath the very elastic, lurching guitars on there. Like, dude, I don't know what they're doing. It sounds like they're boiling an old transistor radio or something like that. It's like, yeah, that's a cool, horrible sound.
And in Water, there's a wailing wind that's over or behind everything. Like, just the whole time, just whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
I thought it was a growl. I mean, it points.
I did too at first.
Yeah. I don't know. That's part of the appeal, maybe. But overall, honestly, I mean, I kind of enjoyed it for what it was. Like, this is not something I would listen to on a regular basis. And, you know, as much as I do like this band, I have to be in a very particular mood to listen to Primitive Man. And it's generally not when I'm already fucking angry, moody, sad, depressed, whatever. I generally have to have, like, a good fucking well of happiness for them to just fucking destroy. But they create something just quite awe-inspiring here in terms of just soundscapes and layering and still making it pretty fucking musical on here. And that's tough with this. Like, this is not for everyone. This is not entry-level metal at all. And, you know, to your friend who says, oh, no, I listen to everything, that dude's a fucking liar.
Right.
Put this on. Put this on. Yeah, you will fuck that person up. But overall, though, I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. it was kind of close to a 4, but again, like, this isn't something I would constantly come back to, but I'm impressed. Like, production-wise, I think this might be their best-sounding album yet.
I agree.
It's still dense, it's still murky, it's still dark as hell, but there's a little bit of, like, space in there to kind of navigate and move around the sound. In terms of how this is constructed, like, the giant sonic swells, the tritone fucking just single chords, and waves of scathing dissonance, I think it's done pretty damn well. There's even spots of melody on here that, I mean, it's like, melody for metalheads, for anyone else, like, it's like, oh my God, that's satanic. That's easily the fucking devil. You listen to the devil. Well,
I mean,
whatever.
But,
yeah, if you're a big fan of, Neurosis, LLNN, I know I've brought up that band a couple times before, but they are kind of comparable. If you want to hear the slower version of Ethan's other project, Vermin Womb, this is that. If you just want something just impossibly heavy, like you went in with a good benchmark for heavy, but you had never heard this band before, this is that next notch up in heavy. Trust me. Check it out.
I'm going to give it a 3. And that's crazy because I love this band. Over the years, as I've gotten older, as I've dug more into this channel, as I've listened to the thousands of bands I've listened to, like, this band to me will always stick out because it is so mind-numbingly heavy and just evil sounding and disgusting. I guess the reason for my 3 at this point is it is a droner. Like, this does just kind of wane on. Like, this record is 68 minutes? It felt like easily twice that. It just drones on forever and ever, and maybe it's part of this record that I gave it a 3. It's like I was telling Nick earlier. I think this record takes all of your happy thoughts and just takes them and throws them away. And you can't have them back. Because I'm going to be honest, after this record, I literally just kind of sat there for a minute and just stared into space. That's where this record put me at. It puts you in this, like, trance-inducing kind of hypnosis thing, and I really just stared off into space for a while. And these aren't necessarily songs I would go back to because it mostly is just a hypnotic droning. There are a couple riffy parts, like the last few minutes of Transactional sounds like they're being played in Satan's basement. Like, it just descends into hell and it stays there. And it's about as low as you can go and about as heavy as you can get. And there's about 100 layers of it and you're just like, holy fuck. This record is heavier than shit at all times. And I love that. And I love dissonance, and I love droning, and I love this band to death. But it is so heavy and so just, like I said, I zoned out, and there were times where I didn't immediately snap back and, like, just found myself going, oh, we're still, okay, we're still in this song, okay, all right, oh my God, not really sure what happened.
Tentacle creatures almost caught him.
Something almost caught me. I spent 68 minutes just kind of stank-faced and staring off into space. But, granted, I still really love this band. I just don't know if this is something I would immediately go back to. I am going to listen to it by myself in the dark. I've done it with every Primitive Man record. I will do it with this one. Because I just want to know what happens when you're void of light, too. I'm curious. I really am. Anyway, if you've been a fan of this band for a long time, you're still going to dig this band. If you're a fan of things like Bluedos Nord, Portal, pieces of Imperial Triumphant, you're going to dig this. And I also side with the fact that if you're going to play this for somebody that says they listen to everything, you might lose them as a friend. This might be your chance.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe because we do stuff like this all the time. We also have memberships. They are only 99 cents. Our lone perk is doing a members-only live stream, which we will probably do one around Thanksgiving here in the U.S.
Maybe.
And that will be later in
the month.
This month. Either way, membership's the main way to support the channel. And if you would like to join up, there's a join button down there. And you can just, hit it with every ounce of suffocating darkness that's on this album. Actually, don't hit it that hard. You'll probably tear the fabric of reality. Or open a portal like the Upside Down, because I know Stranger Things is about to pop up again. And this band sounds like they could be like the house band of the Upside Down.
And even if you don't hit the button, it's cool. We do tons of non-member only live streams. We do album reviews, discography rankings, tons of discussion forums, all metal all the time. We do it for you guys, because goddamn it, we love you. Thank you. Thank you to all of our subscribers, our family, our friends, everybody that helps make this channel awesome. We couldn't do it without you. We wouldn't really want to. I mean, I guess we would. I don't know what the hell else we're going to do at this point. We've been doing it for so long, but we appreciate you guys sticking around. It means a lot.
Yeah, you guys absolutely rule. Tons of content coming your way. So one more big thank you for your rulage, and we will catch you later.